It's been a few months since my last episode. What to review next? Well, I could do something old, I could do something new, I could do something borrowed, maybe even something blue. Or I could do none of the above and review these dudes. The Mars Heroes Megabots things. Wait, but this one's blue. And you may be wondering, what the heck is this? This isn't a Transformer review. Unsubscribe, dislike, flag for stupid. But before you do any of that, take into account that I started reviewing on YouTube with no Transformers. So, you know, at least I'm doing this in my new style and not my old, I'm clinical, I'm professional review person. In answer to your question, these are some little robot dudes that I found in Dollar General for pretty cheap. And even though they were only $2 a pop, they're still pretty well made and they have really good articulation. This first little guy I like to refer to as Blue. He's probably my favorite out of the bunch with this weird Cyclops looking visor, cool double mounted shoulder rocket pods, and a shade of blue that I surprisingly prefer over TARDIS blue. This guy's name is Sir Night Guy the 14th. He has an interesting Robo Knight-like face and cathedral shoulder arches. Which, by the way, are actually lasers apparently, even though they don't look like it in this latest. It's kind of weird, but apparently they're supposed to be that, sorry. Last but not least, we have the green one, who I lovingly refer to as not really quite as good as Bulkhead. His face is kind of gas masky, with these little tube things right here. And his shoulder cannons are by far the most boring out of the three. But that doesn't mean he's a bad figure. I mean, he was worth $2. Now, since they came from Dollar General, you'd kind of expect them to be cheap and ugly and, like, not well detailed. But when it comes to detail, you see they have all these nice paneling, ugly hollow bit. They have all this nice paneling everywhere. Circuit detail and robo detail, and even though it's generic, it still looks good. Articulation is interesting, because every bit of it is ball joints, but that's where the gimmick comes in. We'll get to that in a minute. The head-on greenie can only really go back and forth because of its shape, but the other two have 360-degree motion, trust me. Swivel on the shoulder. Swivel on the shoulder cannons. Elbow's kind of pointless, but it works with the gimmick. Is the thigh joint of a contortionist. His knee joint, a lot like his elbow's kind of useless and only works with the gimmick. Kind of same deal with the foot, but surprisingly it's less limited than the knee. Time to accessorize. All three of them come with this standard little two-barreled cannon. And I mean, it fits in their hand pretty snug. It's nice. But then each one of them comes with its own specialized weapon. Like, Blue has this cool laser gun thing that doesn't really fit in his hand too well. Kind of just jiggles. Not quite Bulkhead has this sadly crooked rifle, and it's kind of a pain to get it into his hand. Even though the thumb is stretchy plastic, I worry about its longevity. And then Sir Whatever the 12th gets a cool little flamethrower, but I think it would have been better if he'd gotten like a sword or something. Now on to the final part of the review, the gimmick. The reason all the joints are ball joints is because everything's supposed to pop off. Oh. Darn it! No! Gosh dang it. Oh gosh, come on! That's just not right. And once you're done, you're left with a pile of vaguely robotic bits. But this works as a good play pattern for kids so that they can like customize their own robots, name them. And for customizers, that means it's easier to paint. All the detail on them looks really nice. Overall, they're a really solid set of figures, and it only cost me $6. So, you know, if you find them in a Dollar General, pick them up. They're good for customizers, they're good for kids, they're durable, and they're generally just a lot of fun. Anyways, I have been Flame Pickle of the Pickle System, and hopefully you guys are prepared for this.